everyone, it's Heather and I am filming this quick update video on Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. The reason I'm making this video is that I want to give you a quick update on 4 things. One, sorry, I just had to do this. I had to show you my teeth. I'm so excited about my teeth right now. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you may have noticed for about the past 9-10 months, I have had a stain on this tooth. Some people actually asked me about it and was like, oh my gosh, is there something wrong with your tooth? You know, have you seen a dentist? What's wrong? I purposely didn't mention it in the video because I didn't want to draw attention to it. But as you can see, it was just a stain and it is gone now because I just went to the dentist. And my hygienist, Sarah, who is terrific, who is my regular hygienist I've had for years, she was completely baffled by this stain. I don't really drink any kind of dark beverage. Once in a while when we go to the movies, I might have a Coke. You know, I did have Coke to drink quite a bit when we were at Disneyland, but I already had the stain then. But for the most part, I basically only drink water. I'm not a coffee drinker, nothing like that. And she couldn't figure it out. She said sometimes some people's saliva has a greater mineral content and it might make it more likely that your teeth could stain, but she said it was very strange the way that was in just one spot on one tooth. So if this has ever happened to you, I want to tell you that it's a weird thing, but it took her literally like 30 seconds to get rid of it. So I was so happy that I got to go to the dentist. And I want to tell you about going to the dentist and like all the medical stuff going on. Which brings me to my second thing that I want to update you on, which is what's going on with my ankle. Just so you know, I had been trying for months on my own to get rid of that stupid stain. It was driving me crazy. I knew it looked horrible in the videos. I really wanted it gone. I could not figure out how to get rid of it. I brushed my teeth with hydrogen peroxide for months. I didn't really want to spend the money on like fancy teeth whitening things because I knew it was just a simple stain and that my hygienist would be able to get it off no problem, and then it's covered by insurance. So I just kind of dealt with it because nothing else was really working, and I would rather she take it off because I knew she could do it quickly and easily, which she did. But here was the deal with going to the dentist. Okay, my dental insurance only covers me to have a cleaning and an exam once a year. You can go every 6 months, like you can go twice a year, but then you have to pay the second appointment out of pocket. But medically, there really isn't any reason for adults to need to have their teeth cleaned more than once a year. We all have pretty good teeth. Megan and Ben have actually never had a cavity, knock on wood. They're going day after tomorrow for their dentist appointment. Like right now, for example, I still have my wisdom teeth because when I got braces and retainers and everything when I was a teenager, I actually had my molars, one in each spot, pulled because my mouth is small and my teeth were very crowded. And so my dentist at the time, before I had my orthodontic stuff done, pulled each of my molars, but I didn't have my wisdom teeth yet. He could see in the x-rays that my wisdom teeth were coming in nice and straight, and he said those will replace your second molars. That's not something they do now, but it was actually pretty common then. This was back in the 1980s. And my dentist that I have now is a very good dentist. I really like her a lot. And she recognizes that that's what these are. They're my chewing teeth. And she's working very hard to make sure that I don't lose them. I have had quite a bit of problem with the one in the back on the left, on the bottom. And I do have another little cavity there right now. And so she wants me to come back and but she knows, she's like, I'm making this a high priority. We're going to fix it. So she knows I don't want anything, because technically, insurance just wants you to get rid of your wisdom teeth. They don't really consider those like real teeth that you're supposed to keep. But that's not true for everyone. For some people, their wisdom teeth are important, and you do keep them for your whole life. Megan is another example. Like Andrew had to have his taken out when he was about the age Megan is now. And my ex-husband actually had to have his wisdom teeth extracted as an adult after we were married, because he should have had them taken out when he was a teenager and he didn't. And they were causing problems. But like me, I need mine, and Megan does not need to have hers extracted. They've already determined that. So it depends on the person. And then I have 2 silver fillings left from, those were put in when I was in middle school, and they've lasted this long, and one of them is starting to crack. My old dentist that I had before her, who retired, he had replaced every other silver filling in my mouth, and I only have those 2 left. So she said, that's no problem. When you come to get this filling, when we're done with that, we'll make you an appointment to replace that filling, the silver one, and then you'll only have 1 silver filling left. So that's what's happening with my teeth. Don't they look pretty? I'm sorry, I'm just so excited about how nice my teeth look. Okay, that brings me to my ankle update. So it has been 16 and a half months since my ankle injury. If you have not been following along, I will link the playlist to my entire ankle injury journey at the end of this video. Basically, it's all bad news, okay? I did go to another podiatrist. A podiatrist, if you're not aware, is an orthopedic doctor who specializes in the foot and ankle. And Social Security disability specifically needs me to be seeing a podiatrist because they are the specialists that specialize in the foot and ankle, and they're the ones that know the most about it. They are also foot and ankle surgeons. So both the doctor I saw before and this new doctor that I just saw, same kind of doctor. The new doctor that I just saw a little over a week ago, who a couple people had recommended to me, he's a very serious guy. He took new x-rays, and this was the first time that I actually got to see any of my scans. I had not seen the x-rays that they took at urgent care the day that I got hurt, and I never saw my MRI, like visually saw it. So I had never seen anything, and it was very interesting to me to see it. And what was cool about my appointment with him was he had an emergency room doctor with him that day, and he was apparently teaching this ER doctor different things about the foot and ankle so he could recognize certain injuries and stuff like that in the ER. And so he was explaining everything to the ER doctor, which was really great because then I got to hear all the explanations too, which my first doctor had not done a great job of, as we know. So he was really explaining my x-ray, and he was explaining all the different tests that he does, like feeling my foot and my ankle in different places and what he's checking for, and that was very interesting to me. You could see very clearly on my x-ray that my tibia and fibula, which are your 2 leg bones, are too far apart at the ankle. So what I did is I basically ruptured my syndesmosis, which is it's a type of joint made out of fibrous material. It's not actually bone, that is kind of in between your leg bones. And along with that, I tore 4 major ligaments, including the anterior tibiofibular ligament, the posterior tibiofibular ligament, and 2 other ones, but I can't remember what they are right now. I had my annual physical on Friday after seeing that doctor, just this past Friday. And she explained to me that the reason my ankle has not improved over all this time, almost a year and a half, is because ligaments do not have a good blood supply. And so ligaments can't really heal very well. And there really isn't any surgery that they can do to fix them. She said there is kind of a weird grafting surgery that they can try, but even that doesn't really work very well because after you have the surgery, that still doesn't change the fact that ligaments don't have a good blood supply. And you need a good blood supply for something to heal because it's like your white blood cells and all that stuff that come and heal the thing. So she explained that to me, and I definitely got the same vibe from the new doctor, the new podiatrist that I saw, that, he's a surgeon. So if he thought this was something that could be fixed surgically, I think he would have said so. And instead he said, okay, let's try a brace and let's try some physical therapy for a few weeks and see what that does. And he didn't seem very optimistic. He just was kind of he was like, okay, well, let's see if this does anything. And it's kind of funny because my first doctor, I specifically asked, should I be wearing a brace? And he said, absolutely not. And when I asked my first doctor, should I be going to physical therapy? He said, no, because there's not really anything they can do for you. Okay. I'm wearing the brace right now. Here's my ankle brace. It does give me a little bit more of a feeling of stability, but it doesn't actually get rid of the pain. And it actually makes it a little harder to walk and get up and down the stairs. So I'm not convinced that the brace is really of any benefit. And the physical therapist who I saw for the first time on Monday explained to me that whether or not I need the brace is a matter of opinion. He said it can maybe give you a little additional stability in your ankle, but it's not really doing much of anything. And going back to what the new doctor said on Monday when I saw him last week, he said, your ankle is as healed as it's ever going to heal. So me thinking that, just with more time and more time and more time, eventually it's going to heal. Well, it had become painfully obvious to me that that was not the case. I never really saw any improvement in 16 months. And so this theory that if we just wait long enough, it's going to heal was not correct. And he confirmed that. He said it's as healed as it's ever going to heal. There is no more healing to be done. It just is the way it is now. It's just damaged. It's permanently damaged, and it's always going to be like this, and there's not anything they can do to fix it. So that sucks. I'm devastated over the loss of the ability to use my ankle the way I could before. The main things are the same things I've been talking about the whole time. Going downstairs, driving is hard, and I can't walk fast. And I can't walk very far, and I can't walk for very long. And I can't stand up for very long either. Everything is harder. And when the physical therapy office gave me my paperwork to fill out, one of the things was like a lower extremity functionality thing. And there were 20 items on there. And I had to circle extremely difficult or cannot do it all for 14 of them. So that kind of tells you where I'm at. So if you can understand that, that's why I have to use a wheelchair and I have to use a mobility scooter when we go places where I'm going to have to do a lot of walking. He did also, the doctor gave me some medication that was supposed to help with pain and swelling, but I actually opted on my own not to take it once I got the medication and I read the information sheet on it. I can't remember the name of it. I actually already turned the pills in to the drop site at the police station because I don't think they were a narcotic, but there were a whole bunch of warnings about not to take these if you had a heart condition or kidney condition or any history of ulcers. And I have a heart condition, which of course that doctor did not know because this is a completely separate clinic system and he would not have had access to my complete medical record. And my cardiologist actually retired this past fall and I have not seen the new cardiologist yet. I'm seeing him later in May and have to have my whole cardio workup again. My doctor actually does have some concerns when she saw me last Friday because I have some swelling in my feet, in both feet, not just the one that's injured. And she did a bunch of labs and ruled out anything else that could have been wrong. I did have some decreased kidney function, which could have been related to just being a little dehydrated that day. She's going to repeat that one in 2 weeks. It was not low enough to explain the swelling in my feet that she saw. She checked my thyroid, she checked my liver, a whole bunch of stuff. And so she said the only thing that's left is you need to go back to cardiology because she's concerned it has something to do with my heart. And so I need to go and have my EKG and my echocardiogram and my visit with the doctor that I'm overdue for because I haven't had done since before the pandemic. The medication that he gave me, when I saw that, I'm like, I can't take something that messes with my heart. And I really probably shouldn't take anything that messes with my kidneys because I just got those labs back that my kidney function was low and I have a history of kidney stones. I've passed 3 kidney stones and I still have 3 more in my kidneys. And my father, if you saw this video, has a very serious history of ulcers. And his mother, my grandmother, actually died of a perforated ulcer. So any medication that says you have to be careful with your stomach, I can't take that either because we have a familial history of issues with ulcers. So the medication was out. But I haven't taken anything for pain really at all, ever. I mean, once in a great while, if it's really bothering me, I might take some ibuprofen. But it doesn't do very much. I just kind of deal with the pain all the time. I've just kind of gotten used to it. So anyway, when I went to the physical therapist, he said like 4 times, I feel really badly for you. Which was, thanks. But I mean, he said, he didn't outright say it because I can tell physical therapists are a big part of their job is to be very positive and encouraging and kind of motivate you to work hard so you can, get, rehabilitate from your injury or from surgery or whatever it is that is wrong. He couldn't offer me that because there isn't anything that he can really do for me. He checked the range of motion of my foot, and other than that, he said, maybe we can improve that a little. Maybe. And he watched me walk, and that's about all we did that day. And he said, the two things he said that are the best things I could say for him trying to give me encouragement were, maybe we can come up with some alternative exercises for you instead of walking. Because I can't walk. And so he knew that walking was I told him walking is my thing that I did. I used to take a 2-mile walk every day, and that's how I stayed trim and fit and healthy. And I talked about how I'm concerned because I've gained weight since I got injured. And he says, well, maybe we can figure out something else that you can do instead, because walking is out, basically. And then the other thing that he said was, I was talking about my YouTube channel and how I'm a travel vlogger. I said kind of jokingly, I said I've been kind of making videos lately where I show, what it's like to travel with a disability. And he said, that might be actually a very good niche for your channel. So you guys tell me down in the comments if you appreciate the stuff that I talk about in my videos that relates to my disability with my ankle and, my limited mobility, which is new, obviously, since I started my channel. If that is of interest to you and you want me to continue to talk about those things when we encounter them, let me know. But if you don't like that stuff, I can't help the fact that sometimes I'm going to need the wheelchair or sometimes I'm going to need the ECV or whatever. But if you don't want me to focus on it, let me know that too. But if you find it interesting and you want me to do more, one thing I thought of was, it was very interesting to me to see how handicap accessible the subway system was in Boston when we were there a couple weeks ago. Those videos are coming, but I was really pleasantly surprised. They had an elevator at every T station that we went to. So I never had to go down the stairs, which was fantastic. And that's impressive given the fact that Boston has the oldest subway system in the United States. So, things like that. I can talk about stuff like that if you want me to. So anyway, that is what's happening with my ankle. I am going back to physical therapy 5 more times before I go back to the other doctor. But again, it sounds like there's nothing they can do for me. He did give me a disabled parking permit. So I have a hangy tag now for my car, and I can park in the handicap parking spaces. So that's kind of nice. I would have liked to have had that for the last year and a half. But that's where I'm at with my ankle. For those of you that have been following along with my ankle injury journey, I hope this is helpful to you. If you have any questions, please be sure to put them in the comments below. Okay, third thing I wanted to talk to you about is moving. Okay, ironically, just yesterday, we found out that we were approved for the first apartment that we looked at in Minnesota, in one of the suburbs of the Twin Cities a few weeks ago. We since had kind of accepted the fact that we probably weren't going to be able to move to a different state. The rents in Minnesota and the rents out east were just too high. They really are more than we can afford. And I was pleasantly surprised that we got approved for that place, because it is more than we can afford. It's about $300 more a month than the top of what I really want to spend. And I got approved for it even without having to have my mom co-sign or anything like that. So that was nice, because that gives me some hope that we'll get approved for something else. But where we live now is a lot less expensive. And so we had kind of come to accept that we're just going to have to stay here in the same town where we are now. And then we were kind of looking for things we love about our town. We love our public library, and we love our movie theater. We like our doctors and our dentists, and I like my auto mechanic, things like that. And so we were kind of trying to look for positives in having to stay here. The one thing I'm a little bit bummed about is I really did want to get Ben into a different school district, but I'm also kind of getting the sense that the issues with schools are kind of the same everywhere, and that it's really kind of been a thing for everybody during the pandemic. And he knows people here. You know, he's always gone to school in the school district. And so when he does go back, because he's been doing virtual for more than 2 years, at least he'll have some friends and people that he knows. So, and he's kind of excited about that too. So where we're at right now is there is a mess with my house sale. The house buyers have pulled something. I don't know what they're doing. And both me and the local realtor that they partnered with to sell the house after they buy it from me, maybe, are both very, very confused. And this is such a mess, and we're so confused about what they're saying that I actually talked to my lawyer. Then my lawyer is actually a couple days after I talked to him, he is out of the country. He's on a different continent until the middle of May. And so he can't do anything for me right now. And so I'm just kind of trying to muddle my way through and figure out what's going on. The main thing that we're concerned about is we have not found a place to move. We're really trying to find something without stairs, and we're really trying to stick to a certain budget. I found quite a few options around here, but we already lost out on 2 of them that I applied for because somebody else got it first. And then we have the one in Minnesota that we were approved for but don't want to take. And then we have 3 more here that we've applied for and we haven't heard back yet. So I'm really hoping we can get one of those, but we're not sure. We can't really make any arrangements or anything until we know where and when we're moving. Because, like, for example, the place in Minnesota we just got approved for is empty now. We toured it empty weeks ago, and we could move into it right now. And then there's like one place here that we haven't heard back from yet that's available like in a week. But then there's another place that we're waiting to hear back from, 2 of them, that aren't available till June 1st. And we still can't get a straight answer out of the buyers about when we have to be out of the house. Is that flexible? Is there any, leeway in that? And I'm waiting. I've asked like multiple times and they still haven't gotten back to me. So that's part of the problem. And so we don't know where we're moving and we don't know when we're moving. And we specifically don't know if we're going to be able to move directly from our house to the new home that we're going to live in, or if we're going to have a gap and we're going to have to put things in storage and then find someplace else to go for a while. Honestly, it could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 2.5 months that we might not have a home. I really don't know. That's all I can tell you right now. And so we are really up in the air with the moving thing. There's actually going to be a video coming where I talk about this, and it's going to seem like these are backwards, but bear with me. Along with that, if there is a gap where we have to figure out someplace else to go before we can move into a new place because we have to be out of this house, I feel, and the kids agree with me, that it is a waste of money for us to pay a bunch of money to just sit in some hotel or some Vrbo somewhere. We do not have anybody we can stay with, and we wouldn't want to do that anyway. I can't find any hotel or any Vrbo that wouldn't cost more than a month of rent, for example, to stay for a month. And I just think that's ridiculous. I mean, we're not going to have our stuff and we're just going to sit there. And we're going to be paying all this money. So this is the 4th thing I wanted to talk to you about. If we do have a gap like that, our plan is to use that time, assuming we have the money from the sale of the house, to travel and make cool content for you guys. So that's our plan. And that could be anything from traveling in the United States, going to Europe, cruising, or if they ever let people back in, even going to Japan. We have all of these things floating around in our brains that we're considering as options of places we could go, assuming we have the money from the house and we have time to kill before we can move into a new place. Because we just feel like it would be a waste of time and money to just be sitting in some place somewhere that we're paying for when we could be traveling instead and spending time together before Megan goes to college and making good content for the channel. So if you have some suggestions of places you'd like us to go and like us to make content of, this would be like May, June, maybe July, let me know. Put it in the comments down below. So there you go. that is all of my updates with my nice bright white smile. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. And if you enjoy all the travel content that I make on this channel, please be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We are getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you would help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers, my immediate goal. And I hope that you're enjoying all of our Disneyland content from our trip to Los Angeles and Disneyland that we took in January. And stay tuned because we had another whole trip after that, and all of those videos are still coming. So thanks everyone for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you're having a great day. Safe travels!